Hey guys, welcome back to some more Motorsport Manager and part 7 of season 2 of our Force India career mode. And today we have the Canadian Grand Prix in Vancouver. So, yeah, things haven't really been going that well this season so far. You know, we've got Perez down in 13th, we've got Alonso down in 15th, we're down in 9th in the drivers, in the Constructors' Championship. Just things aren't going well. Since the last episode, we're designing a new front wing. I think we've had a couple of new parts delivered. You can have a look at them and see if anything's new. But I don't think much is new. Obviously, we've built this new front wing, but I don't know if you've seen. Oh no, it was 2 days ago. So that's the new front wing, and that's gone straight onto one of the cars. So yeah, we'll be going for a softer setup yet again this weekend, as usual. We'll be simulating practice and doing qualifying and the race. So hopefully you guys are good, and hopefully you don't mind too much how bad I've been in the game this season. I don't think it's necessarily been my fault. I think just reliability issues we've had, and you know, it's going to be a tough one on the engines this race, but we're hoping that we've got all of the nonsense of the unreliability out of the way, and we'll hopefully get a decent result this season. So I think this time we're going to go. No, we're not actually. I was going to put Ocon in, but let's not do that. Let's just simulate a session and see how it goes. Alonso's going to go and do a race simulation run, which is cool. Perez has gone straight in at 5th, so you know, the pace hasn't been the problem this season. It's been actually going out there and staying in the race. You know, we've been having a lot of failures, we had a crash in race 3, and you know, just things like that. Bad luck so far this season. After last year, which was brilliant, really, it surpassed all my expectations. This couldn't have been worse so far. So yeah, and a very rainy Saturday. So we're going to see exactly what's going on with the weather. It looks like it is going to get wetter, so we'll go qualifying trim and ultra soft tyres just in case it does come about a bit later. They're very unhappy with the setup, which is a bit of a problem. So he wants a bit more front wing, which is fine by me. So he wants a bit more understeer. I don't really know how you get that from this position. Maybe, yeah, I guess that. Maybe that for Perez, that'll do. And for Fernando, please tell me he's had a good setup this weekend at some point. That'll do. He wants a bit more understeer, and he wants a lot more front wing. Yeah, I think that'll do. Where was the top speed? It was a bit further this way, so we'll go for that, and maybe that, and then do that and get into it. Come on, boys. Fernando is going to get out there straight away, and then Perez straight after him. I'm going to try and get a good lap in on these intermediate tyres. So he's away, which is good, and he's away nice and safely as well. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting Grand Prix. We're hoping for some good points once again this weekend. But you know, we were last weekend. It was an absolute disaster, the last race. I think we got a couple of points out of Fernando, but overall it was a bit of a disaster, and Fernando was being hounded by that Mercedes behind, which is a bit of a shame. He's got the car in a good shape though. He's managing to hold up Lewis Hamilton. We are all on intermediate tyres. Most of the field have gone out on wet tyres, so that's interesting. Fernando Alonso quickest in that first sector, quicker than the Mercedes, which is very, very interesting indeed. But we're probably expecting Perez to go almost quickest in this first sector. So here we go. Alonso comes over the line, and what's it going to be? It's going to be slow, just slower than Hamilton. Perez has gone slightly slower actually. I thought Perez might go a bit quicker, but Giovinazzi currently on pole. Pagnol has gone on pole. I don't quite know what's happening here. I assume it's just because the track's drying up, so people that are going through now will be quicker if they're on the intermediate size. So Fernando is coming into the pits now, and we'll send him straight out there because the rain could come back. So we'll get out there. He's quite happy with the setup. Perez, he can go out there. He's very happy with the setup. Apart from the speed, wants a bit more that. Yeah, why not? So Perez can go out there, and hopefully you can get a good lap in. So watch Fernando. You know, I'm assuming that this track is going to be the best it's going to be when Fernando comes round. He's obviously going to be the first one on dry tyres to actually set a lap. But it's an interesting shaped grid at the moment. 5th and 6th for us. Obviously we'll go probably 1st and 2nd once we've finished this lap. Here comes Fernando then to start his lap, and he's just about avoided any traffic. Perez has been just about as lucky, so yeah, he should be quite happy with that as well. Alonso goes much quicker than anybody else in that first sector. It'll be interesting to see what Perez does in that first sector. He's slightly slower than Fernando at the moment. Fernando goes purple in the second sector. What about Perez? Let's keep an eye on that bottom left corner. There's about a 10th between them at the moment. Here comes Fernando, and it's obviously provisional pole, 126.0. What about Perez? He comes through and he does almost the same lap. Less than a 10th between them. Gianni goes 3rd, 5/10ths slower. So Fernando Alonso on pole at the moment. You're obviously expecting the Mercedes cars to do better than that. The Ferraris probably to do better than that. I don't know how far these guys are up. Hamilton only 4/10ths, well 7/10ths now. He's probably going to be about a second up in the end, although he was getting blocked by Perez there. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. Where does he fit into this? He goes pole for the moment. And yeah, we're going to drop well out of the top 8. One would imagine. Although no, everybody's finished apart from Verline. What's he going to do? He comes through and he only goes 19th. So, well, 8th and 9th. It's not too bad. I mean, we were the first across the line. The track probably got a little bit better, a little bit more grip, but ultimately we're just not quick enough. You know, we're not as quick as these guys, unfortunately. We're the fifth quickest team this year. We've got 2 very top quality drivers, and I think they're dragging it up a little bit more than you know, the likes of Ocon would. I think Ocon would have really struggled this season, but 8th and 9th, we'll settle for that, and hopefully we can have a good race. Changeable conditions. We're starting on the wet tyres, so anything could happen here really. Setup is fine. Yeah, he's happy with that. So I think we attack on the first lap with both cars, see how high we can get, and then we'll evaluate what happens in the second lap. Are we on inters? We're not. I thought we'd be on inters. Can we go back? Oh, that's so annoying. It's already raining. That's so annoying. But we'll go out there and we'll attack. Lights out, away we go. Fernando Alonso off to a poor stop, but Sergio Perez off to a decent one. We're going to be absolutely gung-ho in these first couple of laps as we try to get used to the conditions, as we try to take advantage of the conditions. Let's have a look at if the rain is going to stop. It doesn't look like it is anytime soon. It might be worth coming in and sticking on a set of intermediates, certainly for Perez. Alonso currently in 10th place. He's now up to 8th, so Alonso having a really good first lap. Perez down to 14th position, make that 13th. He's passed Ericsson once again. Alonso up to 8th, which is very, very good, and he's closing in on, I think it was Castroneves, just ahead of him. But yeah, although it is going to dry up at some point in the next few laps, so I think we stay out there on these dry tyres. Oh, he's lost his front wing. He's lost his front wing. Fernando Alonso. I mean, yeah. It's so annoying. It's brand new front wing as well. So Fernando Alonso. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Why has he lost his front wing as well? I don't believe it. I assume it was just a crash, but how have both of our cars lost their front wings? I guess we just go on this. And just try and conserve it all the way to the pits. We'll keep an eye on Fernando Alonso. He's a bit further up the road, but that has completely ruined our race. How annoying. So Fernando comes into the pits. We've had to double stack them, unfortunately. We're away though, which is good. Fernando can push again now. No, you're not going on in as, I'm afraid. But yeah, we'll reduce that down to this. So Alonso 17th, Perez 18th at the moment. We'll have to just run them till the end of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. But the condition of the cars looks actually fairly okay for the first time this season, which is real good positive signs. But we've been very, very unlucky in that first lap to lose the tyres like that, to lose the front wings like that was very, very unlucky. And we've got hope for a safety car now. You know, it's unlikely to happen now, you know, as the field is spreading out a bit, but you know, we've got both drivers in clean air. There's always a chance of doing something. Perez is now 18th. Well, he's still in 18th. He's probably travelling or going a little bit quicker than Fernando at the moment, by about half a second. So I don't quite know why that is, but yeah, just gonna have to make these tyres last till the end of the race. We're definitely gonna finish above Castroneves and Hulkenberg if we play our cards right. So we'll just have to hope that people have slow pit stops and issues and you know, the likes. But we could still rescue some points from this Grand Prix, and that's something that we can be positive about if we can. But especially with Fernando, he had a brilliant first lap and got himself up into the points, and you know, all that hard work went to waste when the front wing fell off. So here comes Fernando. We're about to see, gonna come back in. He's gonna come just behind Jolyon Palmer, who's went onto the super soft tyres. And Perez is just behind Kimi Räikkönen, who's in 17th place. So that's not very, you know, telling. I'm not entirely sure who's where Räikkönen was before the pit stops, but hopefully Fernando can get it to the end of the race on this current strategy. Raikkonen is on the softer tyres, so will probably catch up to us. But Alonso up to 15th now. He's setting personal bests, which is good to see. Perez up to 17th. We'll probably expecting Raikkonen to overtake Alonso at some point, because he's in the faster Ferrari, but you know, we'll enjoy our time in front at the moment. There's a lot of people who haven't stopped yet, and hopefully we can gain some time on them going into the last 5 laps of this Grand Prix. People are putting inters on. Is that a good idea? I think we are going to bring Fernando in. And do that. Yeah. And we'll bring Perez in as well and put him on that. How's his parts looking? Good. I don't think we need to do anything about that, so we'll go not that, but we'll definitely push the tyres into the pits. And here we go. So Fernando Alonso into the pit lane, and he's away, and Perez is straight in and out as well. So we're anticipating the intermediate conditions, and we're hoping that that'll bring us back into the points. We're going to attack the tyres. We're going to save some fuel for the last 4 laps. Oh, this is going to be close. Everybody going on to inters now. I don't know if this strategy is going to work. But here comes Fernando Alonso. Can he get past Will Power? I think he can. So that's us up to 13th now. And there's people out there who haven't stopped yet. So they're going to be losing time to us. So Fernando really closing in on the rest of the field. We'll put him on to high and high. Yeah. So Gianni's in the pits now. Can we get past him? We can we? I don't think we can actually. We're about 10 seconds behind Gianni, so yeah, I think this strategy hasn't worked, but you know, I think it was worth a try. I don't think we were gonna get into the points on that current strategy. Hopefully we won't have any retirements, but I mean, the conditions looking bad, but not as bad as it has done in previous Grand Prix. We should catch up to Palmer and Raikkonen, and Kvyat's in the pits as well. But yeah, so we should pass these 2 people, which will get us up to 11th and 12th. So Fernando through on Palmer now, and we're on to the final lap, and well, Palmer's still battling. We've just got to hope for some penalties now, unfortunately, to get into the points. 11th and 12th is about the best it'll get, but a recovery drive. You know, that we lost our front wings on the 2nd lap, so there's not a lot more we could have done, to be honest with you. I tell you what, Bottas is dropping back massively. I don't think we're going to have quite enough to get up to him. Although there he is there. Can Alonso get to him? I tell you what, he's close, but no. Bottas gets through, and Alonso through in 11th. Perez through in 12th. And that's that. Lewis Hamilton has won the Canadian Grand Prix. I wonder if that'll happen in real life. It hasn't happened in real life for me yet. Obviously I'm in Italy this coming week, so yeah. Right then, so that's the race, how it turned out in strategy. We'll see if anybody's Why does this always happen? So Fernando gets demoted. Unbelievable. I mean, yes, the risk was low. But how many times have we seen it for other teams? You know, I think maybe once or twice. And that's happened twice to us now. So that part will be banned. And penalised. Which isn't good. And yeah, that's a very, very disappointing race. A disappointing episode. If we have a look at the parts now, Fernando Alonso is missing. It shouldn't be brakes that he's missing. It should be suspension, shouldn't it? Yeah, it should be suspension. That part's banned now. That's very frustrating. We'll have to go for this one for the time being, and hopefully blah blah blah, and hopefully create a new suspension at some point. Yes, I might have done. I wonder if that'll actually cause anything. I don't know. But our money is rapidly declining. And I'll see you guys for the German Grand Prix in the next episode. So, if you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like. It really does mean a lot for me and for the channel. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.